So we're here today to talk to you about all things front of house. So front of house obviously means table service, working as a waiter, a host, working in the front section of a hospitality venue.
We're very restricted with time, so I'm going to start by introducing myself and telling you a little bit about my hospitality journey. I left school in Year 10 and studied as a home economist at TAFE and Darlinghurst, and worked as a cooking demonstrator and demonstrating commercial and domestic appliances. Went on to do a second certificate 3 in commercial cookery, where I worked on the weekend and some evenings where we fed 1,000 people on a weekend. In those days, they were olden days, there was no such thing as peeled prawns. See the fingers now? I peeled prawns, I peeled potatoes. Couldn't buy peeled potatoes either. And I guess my claim to fame was, because I'm so old, that I was the very first person in Australia ever to use and demonstrate one of those magical machines called a microwave oven. I was the first person living better electrically at the Royal Easter Show, and that was my claim to fame. I'm joking. Anyway, so from working at Prospect County Council and working as a chef, I then got a job with TAFE as a teacher, and I returned and went to uni as a mature age student. I actually started the hospitality section at Nowra and Ulladulla, and was very proud of what we achieved with all of the apprentices. And I've actually left TAFE some 6 years ago, and my passion is still hospitality. All of the skills that I learned right back there in the dark ages are still with me, as far as you only get one chance at first impression, about communicating, about what happens when I smile at you. What happened? They're contagious. And guess what? You smile back. And that's why it's so important when you work in hospitality. And really, when you think about it, hospitality is anybody that is providing service. It's the person that works at Baker's Delight. It's everybody. So anyway, all of those skills have stayed with me. I'm passionate about the industry, and I love doing what I'm doing, which is the Shoalhaven Food Network, because that is a body that compilates almost 100 members throughout the Shoalhaven. So we've got chefs, we've got brewers, we've got wineries, and lovely restaurants, and that's what we do. And I'm going to hand you over to Sharon, but I just wanted to say that whatever you do, hospitality can be a part of it.
Hey guys, so welcome. Oh, that was loud, sorry. So my name's Sharon. I live in Nowra with my husband and my 2 children. However, I've only been in Nowra for the last 2 years. We bought a restaurant a couple of years ago. Prior to that, I was in Sydney for around 23 years. So I'm a Nowra local. I've had an amazing career in the hospitality industry, which started way back when I was in year 11 and 12 at Nowra High School. In fact, it was in the mid-1990s, which I'm pretty sure none of you were alive, so that makes me really old. Anyway, so in fact, I was the very first group of students to ever study hospitality at school. So it had never been offered before, and it also had never been studied before, so we were like the guinea pigs. So I'm here today to talk to you about some of the fun and amazing things that I've been able to achieve over the past 20 or so years after leaving school, and just in a hope that it will give you guys some ideas and perhaps some clarification as to whether you'd like to make this your chosen career. Because for a lot of people, they think, oh, I need to go and be an accountant, or I need to be a doctor, or I need to be a school teacher, and they think that they'll do their RSA course, or they'll learn how to make coffee just as a backup choice. And what we would like to achieve today is for you guys to have a think that hospitality can actually be your first choice. It doesn't necessarily need to be a backup choice. So for me, when I was in high school, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with life. I wasn't hugely academic, however, I loved being with people. I knew I had a fun and outgoing personality, and I wanted to travel and see the world. So I chose to study hospitality really until I figured out what I wanted to do when I grew up. So here's my journey. Once I finished Year 12 in 1996 with reasonably okay marks, I chose to study an advanced diploma of hospitality management at TAFE, which took me 2 years to complete. I did this in Wollongong, and once I finished, I then went, right, Sydney, here I come. So I moved to Sydney. Throughout my 23 years working in many front of house roles, so I was a restaurant manager, I was a floor supervisor, I was a functions and events manager, I worked in bars, clubs, restaurants, nightclubs, I worked for a catering company. I've had the opportunity to meet and serve many A-list celebrities such as Jay-Z, Beyonce, Paris Hilton, Nicole Kidman, the Kardashians, and even Prince Harry. For many years, I worked really hard, very hard. I gave up my nights, my weekends, and I worked as many public holidays as I could so that I could keep forging myself into my career in the hospitality industry. I was headhunted and was able to run a venue in Bali. I've worked on super yachts in the south of France. I've danced the night away with VIPs and some incredible private functions, all with using my hospitality skills, my front of house hospitality skills. Now, I'm not saying that your life path will be anywhere near what mine is. However, the skills that I developed at Nowra High School and during my TAFE studies have helped forge my way into an awesome career in the hospitality industry. But not only that, but it's created so many fun memories along the way. I've got so many fun memories of all the experiences I've been able to gain. I worked at the Sydney 2000 Olympics. I remember standing on the steps of the stadium at the beginning of the opening ceremony of the Olympics. Were you guys even born then? In 2000? Yes? No? Right, well, the Brisbane Olympics are coming up, so get yourself sorted. But I remember standing there and the stadium was cram-packed, full of people, thinking to myself, Sharon, never forget this moment, because my hospitality training enabled me to witness some incredible experiences. And I just remember the stadium was filled with people, and I thought, never ever forget this moment, because you'll never have an experience like this ever again. So if you're unsure what you want to do after school, but would love to learn some life skills, keep going with your hospitality studies, because they will stick with you for life. And when you get to the ripe old age of 45, like me, and you know how to throw a mean dinner party, you know how to set a table properly, open a nice bottle of wine, you know how to shake a cocktail for your friends, and you know how to chop some vegetables on the chopping board like Gordon Ramsay, you will be glad that you've learned those life skills, because it doesn't necessarily mean that if you want to work in hospitality, it needs to be a backup choice or a second career option, because it can actually be a first career option and can also be a really good one. So today, Di and I have created a little game that we're going to play. So we're going to break you guys up into the tables that you're sitting on. I'm going to call it the Tray Service Olympics. What we're going to do is we're going to pour some water into some of these glasses here. So you've got a champagne glass, a wine glass, and a cocktail glass, or a martini glass as I like to call them. We're going to show you how to pour correctly from a bottle, so the champagne bottle, and also from the wine bottle. We're just going to put some water in them today, and then we're going to get you guys to carry those trays around the venue. The group that does not use their second hand to help them carry that tray, that does not spill any water and does not, most importantly, break any glasses, will win a gift voucher for your whole entire table to come and dine at my restaurant. So I need 2 people from each table, 2 confident people that are willing to serve and carry these glasses. And we are going to try and see who can win this prize.
But yeah, we've got some free training in barista coming up as well. Anyone from Batemans Bay here? Where's it go? From Shell Harbour, Nowra? In Nowra School? Ulladulla schools? Yeah? All Ulladulla? No? Where are you guys from? Nowra? Okay, cool. So I've got a broad range of students here. But Helen again is going to tell you of some courses, again, that incorporate the front of house training that we're doing. And it's a start into the whole gamut of hospitality training, which goes up to advanced diploma, and again into a university career if you want. TAFE is the start of the ladder. Okay, after your school, TAFE is the start.
Okay guys, so basically you would start with your RSA and RCG, and then they step you into your front of house courses, which also can lead you into event management, it can lead you into business, it can lead you into wedding planners and bachelors. There's a wide range that TAFE offer to take you further than just the basics. start at the basics, start to build your careers, and then you can look into where you're going to go. It's not just walking around serving customers. There's a lot more behind the scenes that you can get involved in, and TAFE offers those courses. You can go into diplomas and advanced diplomas, and you can even go into bachelors. All right, so feel free to come and talk to Jackie and I, any of the other staff that we have here, which sort of way you want to go. All right.
Hello again. And following on from what the ladies have said, also don't forget that for a lot of you while you're at school, you may want a part-time job after school. And outside of those traditional sort of Macca's, KFC, etc. roles, you have got an array of restaurants and cafes in the area that, particularly over the summer period when it is quite tourist season down here, you could also be looking at a part-time job in a cafe or a restaurant or any of the other hospitality venues that are around. You don't need to be able to serve alcohol in a lot of them, so you are a good staff member. And it can be a great job to get you through university and things like that. So, bar work once for uni, I have so many friends who supported themselves through uni by working in bars. So you don't think that hospitality is just this, or this. There's so many different options. So each session now for me, I'm just going to talk about a little bit of something that we would normally do with our school discussions. So interviews is one of the first steps that you would have going into a job. So has anyone here got a part-time job already? Yeah. Okay, so some of you guys might have had an interview for that particular job. It can be really daunting to go to an interview, especially if it's your first try. I still get nervous now, and I'm 42 and done lots of interviews over my time. So, it is normal to be like that, but just remember that you are going to that interview and you are presenting the best version of yourself to get that job. So just making sure that you're neat and tidy, you're dressed appropriately, you've got your phone turned off, you're not wearing a hat if you're a hat wearer, things like that. Like, just your first impressions count, and you're selling yourself at that interview. So it's super, super important that you look the part and that you are going to put the best version of yourself towards that employer, so that you get the job as opposed to the person who's sitting next to you that also went for it.